So the first question is, why is the ability to initiate and influence change so important for workforce leaders right now? And I'd like Jake to start us off, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in simplest terms, it's at the core of what we do from, a workforce and talent leadership perspective. In a lot of ways, the easiest way to say it is that our job is to, procure and retain top talent, as effectively and efficiently as possible. So within that kind of realm, as you mentioned, things are changing so rapidly that we as leaders have to always keep up with small things like just trying to improve processes, adapt our program rules, strengthen our vendor partnerships, get buy-in from our stakeholders, even up to making sure our teams or ourselves as individuals can meet goals, expectations. But I think the biggest one is really to cement yourself as a strategic business partner, subject matter expert. In all of those things, kind of just walk through. Some of them may seem trivial, but the core of being successful at those is when to recognize change, initiate change, and really to kind of influence, because we need the vendor partnerships, stakeholder partnerships, from your leaders or even your team to buy into those changes. Jeff, you had mentioned our industry, while it is fun and exciting at times, can certainly be overwhelming. The shifts in market trends, talent demands, evolving technology, which is certainly changing more rapid than I have seen in a long time, but also just changing from our company goals, organizational goals. If you're not constantly trying to adapt, innovate, keep up, it's extremely difficult to continue to add value, keep your program best in class, relevant. And at the end of the day, I think in addition to just being able to initiate and influence change, the big one is to recognize when change is needed or what the value of change is going to be. Can't keep changing just to change, right? Start to become the person that cried wolf, or you lose some of that trust and value from your stakeholders. So need to really keep those organizational goals in mind of what changes are valuable, why they're needed, and be able to articulate that kind of all the way up the chain.
So I think you've hit on a couple of really important points. And one of that is just the amount of things hitting us all the time, and especially now with AI kind of inundating us with messaging and with change, is really focusing on what is important. And we like to use the term, separating the signal from the noise. And what I really like what you just said is, keeping your eyes on what the corporate or what the enterprise goals are, and then aligning your change efforts in that direction. I think it might help us get through some of the just overwhelming kind of cacophony of things coming at us. Will, like to have your perspective on this. Anything you'd like to add to Jake's response, and then maybe talk a little bit about how change is important in kind of career management for a contingent workforce professional.
Yeah, no, I think Jake put it really well to begin with, but I mean, there's a lot of conversation around the way of work changing, and I think that's very obvious, right? So the way that candidates, the way that resources want to be engaged in the product, what they want to work on, is constantly evolving. And if we look at kind of the way the evolution of contingent labor programs is that we aren't necessarily moving as fast as they should be to match that. So I think right now it's important for program owners, for really leaders within organizations to think about, is your program right sized for the solutions that are going to be needed in the next 3 to 5 years. And so I think that's one of the biggest things that is important right now, is to start to understand and really digest the fact that the passion economy is real, gig workers are real, but how are you harnessing that into your program, and how are you building the right size solution to support that? Is something that I think a lot about when we talk to some of our customers, and when I think about my prior experience as well, is that, am I building the solution that's going to be successful in 3 to 5 years, or am I building for right now? And technology is advancing so much at such a rapid pace that we need to be thinking more long-term and not so linear in what we're doing.